Good day, everyone. So, for today, we will be learning all about the determinants of supply. So, when we talk about the determinants of supply, you are to keep it in mind that you are the supplier, or while we are discussing, this is the supplier's POV. Okay, so this is the supplier's point of view. So we have 5 determinants of supply: the technology, input price, price of other goods, producer's expectation, and government policy. Now, we first talk about technology. As a supplier, technology is very useful nowadays because it is providing you the ease of producing the products and services that you are to supply to your target market. So in the technology, when there is an improved productivity, so the productivity of the product is increasing, as well as the quantity supply is increasing. Let's go back to our discussion on theory of production. So we have your input and your output. So from here, so input is classified as your capital goods. You know already what is capital goods, right? Because I've already discussed that to you. And also your output is classified as consumer goods. So without the use of the technology, you as a supplier, your example, you are creating cake. So the inputs or the capital goods to use in cake are eggs, flour, butter, and many other. So when there is no technology, you are only producing 100 cakes per week. But because with the aid of technology, you can now produce, let us say, 500 cakes per week. So as you can see, that is how useful a technology in terms of you as a supplier. It can help you increase the output you are to produce and you are to provide to your target market in terms of supplying them. Alright? So that is in the technology, which is number 1 determinants of supply. Number 2 determinant of supply is the input price. Okay, when we talk about the input price, these are the capital goods that you are to use for you to create the output or the products. So let us go back to the theory of production. So you have your input, which is the capital, which are the capital goods. You have your output, which is your consumer goods. Now, in here, if the price of the input, if the price of the input is increasing, quantity supplied is decreasing. Why? Right. So why is price of the input, when the price of the input is increasing, the quantity supply is decreasing. So in the theory of production, let us go back to the cake. Alright, the example natin kanina. So, if you are producing cake and you are using these products or these input items for you to create the cake, so if the price of the flour is increasing, you are also decreasing. The price of the flour is increasing. You are decreasing the number of cakes you can produce because the price of the flour is increasing. Let us say when the price of the flour is 100 per kilo, you can produce 500 cakes. But because the price increases to 150 per kilo, you can now decrease the number of cakes you are to produce. Let us say you can now only produce 400 cakes out of that increase of flour. So as you can see, input prices affects the number of output or the number of products that a supplier can produce and can supply to its target market. Alright, so let us proceed to the price of other goods. So number 3, determinants of supply. When we say the price of other goods, for example, let us say, for example, Valencia Company. Valencia Company is producing two different types of product. Let us say this is product A and this is product B. Product B. Okay. So in relation to price of other goods, so this is the determinants of supply, right? So when the price of the product, when the price of product A is increasing, quantity supplied is also increasing. Okay, so in technology, when there is an improvement in technology, an increase in improvement in technology, there is also an increase in quantity supplied. Then in input price, when there is an increase in input price, there is a decrease in quantity supplied. Now, in price of other goods, when the price of product A is increasing, quantity supplied of product A is also increasing. Why? So, in this example, let us focus all about the price sa atong i-discuss. Alright, so price sa atong i-discuss. On January, ang price ni product A is tag 100 as well as product B. But on February, the price of product A increases to 150. So you are producing, Valencia Company is producing these two products. And then on February, is the price of product B is decreasing. So on this example, you can see that there is an increase in price in product A and there is a decrease in price in product B. So, asa man ang dapat you as a supplier's point of view, asa man dapat ang dapat nimo i-focus ang imong production? Is the higher the price or the lower the price? So, as a supplier, pilion gid nimo ang taas og presyo, the higher the price. Where? Because when the price of the product is higher, the quantity supplied is higher, and also your income from this product is also increasing. Compared to product B, your income in product B is decreasing. Why? The price of the product B in the market is decreasing. Not the same with product A that it is increasing. So, it increases in 50 pesos. So, daghan gyud or marami-rami ang income na makukuha mo in product A. Alright? So, now, let us see the production na dayon. Alright? So, you think of the prices ha. Okay, una-una ang mga prices. For the product A, so production na punta, di na punta sa price. Production. Alright. Production. Para masabtan gid ninyo ang thought ni price of other products. So, let us now focus on the discussion in terms of price of other goods on production. With regards to Valencia Company. So, on January, si product A, giproduce siya 1,000 kabuok. Si product B, 1,000 pod kabuok. But, in February, you produces 1,000 yapon. And then, you produces 1,000 yapon on product B. But on March, because you go back to the price, on February, on the month of February, nag-increase ang price ng iyong produkto na product A ng 50 pesos. From January na tag 100 siya, nahimo siya og 150 pesos. So now you think of the best way. Saan ako magfo-focus in terms of production? So syempre sa product A kinitaas man iyahang presyo and then nitaas pod ang iyahang income towards me as the supplier. So now let us say nag-focus ka, nagbutang ka og additional 500 sa nahimo ng 1,500 imong production sa product A on the month of March. And then nag 500 na lang po dayon ka for product B. Ma'am, atuan na lang di ay ning i-phase out si product B kay mas daghan man kahata og ma-income kang product A. No, we cannot immediately phase out a product that you are producing to you as a supplier and to the target market you are supplying. Why? What if product A, you go back to the determinants of demand? What if si product B substitute siya na product or it is a complementary product of other products? So you cannot immediately phase out the product you are producing because its price is decreasing. So, gradually lang ang pag-phase out sa kanya. Dili diretso nga wala na nato ni dili ngan ana. Alright? So, you need also to create a marketing strategy for this product, or you need also to have a marketing research on why this product is decreasing on its price. Alright? Or what product can you anotherly produce to omit your product B? So, lahi na po na siya na discussion. Okay? So, let us proceed to number 4, producer's expectation. If you remember on the determinants of demand, we have consumer's expectation. So, in the consumer's expectation is when the price of the product is increasing, the quantity demand is increasing. Now, it is the same with when the price of the product is increasing, quantity supplied is also increasing in the producer's expectation, which is a determinant of supply. So, ang consumer's expectation is a consumer's point of view. Now, in the producer's expectation, it is the supplier's point of view. So, Y is when the price of the product is increasing, there is an increase in quantity demand. Because when balik ta sa theory of production, input and output. Okay, cake lang yapon para simple lang ang atoang explanation, and then makonect ninyo ang mga ideas and discussions on the determinants of supply. So when we say you are producing cake. Okay, for the month of January, the price of the flour, sa product mo dito, no? Okay. So, on the month of January, the price of the cake is, himo siyang, let us say, 350 per cake. Now, on the month of February, the cake prices to 400. So, it increases to 50. Okay, when you go back to your input, you are using flour. So, let us focus on the input product, which is the flour. On January, the price of the flour per kilo is 100 per kilo. But, on February, the price of the cake, nahimo siyang 400. But still, the price of the flour is 100 per kilo. You as a supplier, even though the price of the flour doesn't increases on the month of February, you are still selling your cake as per increase in the market, which is 400. Dili ka mo baligya nga 350 lang ako kay wala pa man nag-increase ang price sa flour. Ang merkado lang man ang mga target, ang sa ano lang man, ang sa market lang man ang nag-ingon nga ni-increase ang price ni cake. No. So, in the producer's expectation, wala ni increase ang price ni flour, but maura gihapon musabay siya sa trend sa price sa cake, which is tag 400. So, that is the point of view of a producer. Another example is if you are supplying a fuel. So, when the price of the fuel increases today, when the price of the fuel increases next week, when you are a consumer, so mag-full tank man ka no, because you expected that the fuel will increase on the next week. So mag-full tank na ka karon nga week, or karong Domingo or Sabado, mag-full tank na ka. But then, on the producer's expectation, mo increase sa next week, pero kanang ilahang mga fuel nga naa pa sa ilahang tangke, kanang sa ilalom bitaw sa ilang tangke, ilagyapon ang ibaligya sa the same sa increase pagka next week. Dili na sila moingon nga ay dili pa man ni siya bag-o nga stock, maora gyapon akong pagbaligya. No, ibaligya ra gyapon na nila sa pag-increase na pagka next week. Mo increase gid gyapon na sila bisan pag old stock na nila ang ilahang naa sa ilang mga tangke. So that is producer's expectation. Another example also is when you have you remember katong nitaas ang presyo ni Coke? That time, ang mga ga-supply og Coke is old stock na nga Coke ang naa sa ilahadaan. But when there is an increase in price of Coke, even though old stock na siya, but ang ilhang pagbaligya is katong increase na nga price. So that is what we call as producer's expectation. Alright, so the last determinants of supply is the government policy. In terms of government policy, meron silang tatlong ibinigay sa mga supplier. So these are excise tax, and then subsidy, then import quota. So when we say excise tax is a tax imposed on manufacturer goods. Excise tax is applicable to producers and sellers as opposed to value-added tax, which is ang value-added tax is only paid by the consumer. So when you check on the receipts, when you buy something on supermarkets, when you check on the receipts, there is a value-added tax you pay for the products nga imuhang gipalit. But for in the determinants of demand suppliers point of view, ang tax na kanilang binabayaran is the excise tax. So this excise tax is it increases the cost of the product because of this excise tax. So, excise tax increase input prices and cost of production. Kasi, kaning excise tax, binabayaran yan ng mga company, especially manufacturing company, binabayaran nila yan sa gobyerno. So, that is an expense on the part of the company. When there is an expense during the production, it is an additional cost on the production. And then, saan yan kukunin ng mga babawiin ng mga company is sa mga prices ng product para mabawi nila yung mga nagastos nila in terms of producing that product na dapat nilang isupply sa kanilang mga target market. So, the excise tax is an additional cost to the production. Next is the subsidy. When we talk about the subsidy, it is an additional subsidy is a monetary assistance by the government to the target industries or sectors in the economy. A very good example of this subsidy is in the agricultural industry. So in the agricultural industry, the government in the subsidy, no, the government doesn't intently provide the monetary, the money, but in goods, the mga items, so such as binhi, okay, binhi, pesticides, ansa pa, mga fertilizers. So, mana siya ang binibigay na subsidy ng government to the industry of agriculture. So, sino ang re-receive ng mga subsidy na ito? Ang ating mga minamahal na mga farmers. So, they are accepting these subsidies from the government. So from that, they can produce the products that they can supply to their target market. Next is the import quota. So import means in, 'di ba? Inside, padulong sa Philippines. From the international countries, the products of the international countries ay imported to the Philippines. When we say export or exported, ang mga produkto sa Pilipinas ay ipinapalabas natin sa Pilipinas at we sell them to international countries. So that is export. Why Philippines, or why the government here in the Philippines is providing government policy such as import quota. So import quota is ang mga products and service or mga products from international countries na sila'y kanang cut off. Okay? Na sila'y, when we say quota, this is limitation. May limit kung ilan lamang na pieces ang dapat na i-import here in the Philippines with regards to international products. Dahil kung hindi tayo maglalagay ng policy na import quota, maybe the international products will kanang mas marami sila mas marami sila compared to the products na produce ng ating mga businessmen here in the Philippines. So kinahanglan, no, dapat there is a limitation on the import so that the economy in the Philippines in terms of local goods and local produced goods is nagra-run pa rin dito sa Pilipinas. So, these are the determinants of supply. So, as you can see, lima gyapon siya. When you go back to the determinants of demand, lima gyapon. It has the income, substitute, complementary, consumer's expectation, and taste and preferences. So here in the determinants of supply, which is supplier's point of view, you have the technology, the input price, the price of other goods, producers and producers expectation, and government policy. So I hope you learned something on today's discussion, and you will keep these in mind so that on the next discussion that we will be having in our classroom is that dali ra ninyo masabtan ang ato ang mga kanang kuan pa umaabot pa nga mga discussion.